The Vicar was taking a call from Stig Blomqvist, owner of the Swedish OSV record label. Why does everyone ask if I mind if they disturb me, as if I were free to answer yes, and magically find myself upstairs undisturbed, still enjoying my sensual Sunday reading, the role of country houses in 19th century England? Would it not be better to simply apologise and get on with the matter in hand? At present, you are simply extending the disturbance. A pause. Perhaps you should have considered that before making this call. Now I am here, perhaps you will kindly let me know how I can help. The Free Music Forum. I like them more and more, and I was so afraid that Meedem was going to be dull. Punk, kindly get me a copy of the OSV sampler from your Meedem bag. I found one and handed it to him. He jammed the receiver against his shoulder and ripped open the CD. He folded out the booklet before shaking his head and throwing it across to me. Not that one. Have a look in the bag that I was given, or the Crappenley's bag. I need a few more copies. I found several more. As the last one came open, a card fell on the floor. He picked it up, smiling. "Oh yes, I have one," he said into the phone. "Rather amusing, don't you think?" "Well, you Swedes never did have a sense of humour." "Of course I can tell you how it was done, but do we have to play this game?" Another pause. "I suppose we do. Check out the stock you have left. I think you will find that exactly 1 in 6 has this little extra bonus. Ring me back if I'm right, which I believe I will be." And he put the phone down. "Take a look at this, punk. If this is the new world order, then life is not going to be boring. Their politics may be dubious, but their methods are wonderful." He threw the card over to me. On the front was a graffiti mural of the words "free music," and on the back, a message in several languages reading, "The Free Music Forum opposes restrictive copyright laws. Free music from big business. Support the Free Music Forum." "Where did it come from?" I asked. "Inside this sampler promoting OSV's acts, and their new star Elsa in particular. Even you have surely noticed that Meedem is featuring Swedish music this year." A bit of a piss pocket, having that stuffed in their sampler. One might think so, although it will be excellent publicity. The telephone rang again. "Ah, Mr. Blomqvist, precisely 1 in 6, exactly as I predicted." The Vicar was turning the jewel case around and round in his fingers. He lifted the CD out of the case and turned it over. "It does not mention in your artwork that this is an enhanced CD. What is on the CD-ROM portion?" This question apparently caused some confusion. "I assume you are familiar with enhanced CDs, Mr. Blomqvist. They can be loaded into your computer to give you extra information." "Well, I can assure you that it is. Punk, my laptop, if you please." There was a short pause as he loaded the CD. "Oh, my dear Mr. Blomqvist," he said, chuckling to himself. "I do believe we have a problem, Houston. The disc contains another large advert for the Free Music Forum with a link to their website. It would appear that they have rather commandeered your product." A wide grin spread across the Vicar's face. "Anyone playing this in their computer drive is going to learn rather more about the Free Music Forum than they do about Cool Britannia." The Vicar tidied the table in front of him. "Well, yes, I can tell you how it was done, but that would seem pretty obvious. Have you not visited a CD manufacturing plant? It never fails to amaze me how many people work in the music industry but have no idea how a CD is actually made. I would recommend it, Mr. Blomqvist. Quite fascinating how those small polycarbonate crystals are melted and stamped with the digital information from your master before being coated with aluminium so that the laser can read them, making a perfect copy of the master disc that you sent them. If, however, the master disc was substituted on arrival for one that carried additional information, such as, I don't know, some free advertising for the Free Music Forum, then all their work would simply ensure a perfect replica of the substituted disc. Ingenious! You have to admire them." "No, I suppose it's not quite so amusing from your perspective." The Vicar was still finding it hard to keep a straight face. "Ah, the printing. You would have learnt that as well. 24-page booklets are too large to be packed automatically. At your factory, Doc Data, they are hand-stuffed by 6 very bored and grossly underpaid ladies, usually of ethnic origin, I'm afraid to say, who sit at a table hour after hour packing CDs. I would suggest that one of those ladies has just retired and earned herself a little bonus from the Free Music Forum before doing so. Yes, it really is as simple as that. I have no doubt that you will be wanting to talk to the factory. Thank you for calling. I'm pleased I was able to help." It seemed the conversation was at an end when the Vicar unexpectedly continued. "But before you go, a question if I may, Mr. Blomqvist. Pray tell, why exactly did you call me? I have told you nothing that you could not have learned from the factory on Monday morning." A pause. Ah, the Daily Medium News. Much as I suspected. You want to issue a press release explaining the unfortunate incident. I must give you a suitable quote. I shall wait while you get a pen and paper. He put the receiver on the table. Vandals have reached the gates of Rome, punk. Pretty soon they will be tearing down the citadel. The old order changeth, as it does everywhere. Even with architecture, unfortunately. He patted his book. In fact, perhaps, punk, you could take down a version of my press release, as I somehow suspect that Mr. Blomqvist will not be using it. He picked up the receiver. I had no idea what was coming. The press release reads as follows. It is indeed possible that the Free Music Forum could have illegally usurped the OSV sampler as OSV claimed. He paused for effect with a huge grin on his face. It is, however, far more likely that Mr. Blomqvist has deliberately wasted, he looked at his watch, 6.5 minutes of the Vicar's Sunday morning in an ill-conceived attempt to add credence to this unlikely tale. In the Vicar's professional opinion, as mistakenly requested by Mr. Blomqvist, the most likely explanation is that Stig Blomqvist, one of the great self-publicists in the industry, fully authorised the use of the advertising space by the Free Music Forum, thereby ensuring excellent publicity for his sampler and, if rumours are to be believed, the forthcoming sale of his label to Wendy Airhole's Regina record label. Yes, Stig, and I love you too. Thank you for your call. He rang off and looked at me with a deadpan expression. Oh dear, I do believe that Stig Blomqvist has just removed me from his Christmas card list.
That boy's not cool, he's got ears the size of diamonds, vocals on a twisted face, with a voice that...
Check this out. I'm not telling you whose house this is, but I hope her husband doesn't see this blog. Now let's be honest, punksters. My average email session is up there competing with Boris Becker's 20-second insemination in a restaurant broom-covered routine for some kind of sad git fart speed record. Well, I'm the sad git fart with no emails. He's an international superstar who gets to fuck waitresses.